Good morning. I'm Aaron Breaker.
And I'm Tobin Breaker.
And we are... Wow.
Loud.
Okay, try that again.
And I'm Tobin Breaker. Oh, wow. Okay.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5 and FM 102.3. I'm playing this song on purpose. Do you know why?
Why?
Because scientists... Listen to this. Scientists, I thought that the chorus was coming right now. Scientists have now confirmed that, that Einstein's theories of relativity.
Ooh.
Yes.
I thought they'd been confirmed a while ago.
Well, okay, so it's actually, I take that back. It's his supermassive black hole theory. Hence the song by Muse, Supermassive Black Hole.
Wow.
So I planned this nice entry today, but I'm asleep. So, it didn't work out so great.
Yes.
So, yes, scientists confirm Einstein's supermassive black hole theory. This has happened in Berlin. A team of international scientists observing a star in the Milky Way have for the first time confirmed Einstein's predictions of what happens to the motion of a star passing close to a supermassive black hole.
So what happens?
Einstein's 100-year-old general theory of relativity predicted that light from stars would be stretched to longer wavelengths by the extreme gravitational field of a black hole, and the star would appear redder, an effect known as gravitational red shift. And okay, so my problem this morning was my computer was going really slow.
Oh.
It was the first time we could test directly Einstein's theory of general relativity near a supermassive black hole. Frank Eisenhower, senior astronomy for the Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics, told journalists, at the time of Einstein, he could not think or dream of what we are showing today. A team of scientists at the European Southern Observatory started monitoring the central area of the Milky Way using its very large telescope to observe the motion of stars near the supermassive black hole 26 years ago. The black hole is 26,000 light years away from Earth and has a mass 4 million times that of the sun. Those are numbers that our brains cannot fathom.
I'm like, wow.
The scientists selected one star, that's S2, great name, S2, to follow. With an orbit of 16 years, they knew it would return close to the black hole in 2018. Over 20 years, the accuracy of their instruments has improved, and so in May of 2018, they were able to take extremely precise measurements in conjunction with scientists from around the world. This showed the star's orbital velocity increasing to more than 25 million kph, kilometers per hour. That's 15.5 million miles per hour as it approached the black hole. The star's wavelength stretched as it sought to escape the gravitational pull of the supermassive black hole, shifting its appearance from blue to red. Odell Straub from the Paris Observatory said. Scientists now hope to observe other theories of black hole physics. This is the first step in a long road that the team has done over many years, which we hope to continue in the next years.
This whole thing's fascinating to me, and I when you think about black holes, I've always thought of them as like giant suction cups, right? Like they're supposed to suck things into them, right? Things get sucked into the black hole.
Yes.
So, but because this planet is just far enough away, it's not going to get sucked in, but it's being pulled by the black hole.
And it's not a planet; it's a star. It's a star.
Yeah.
It's
so
it's a sun.
Yeah. So a sun. But it's being pulled by this black hole, so it's changing the speed of the orbiting, right? As they said, it speeds up. 15.5 million miles per hour.
Which is unfathomable.
Right? I mean, that's ridiculously fast, right?
It's ludicrous speed.
It's ludicrous speed, yeah. And it's not just speeding up the star, but the actual light particles. And this is the thing about lights, is that light is actually a particle as well as a beam, right? And it's pulling on the light, and it's speeding up. And when light goes faster, it changes color, right? So slower light is blue. Faster light is red.
Crazy.
And they talk about this on the spectrum, right? I learned that in my science class. Science.
How do you remember that?
I don't know. I can't. There's so many things I can't remember.
But that you do remember.
I know. I know.
Think about. Was this in college or high school?
High school.
I said college, like I'm from Chicago or
Right.
something. College.
College.
Or high school.
Is that from the university?
Yes.
Boy, suddenly she's all snooty. Anyway, this is awesome. And the fact that Einstein was able to predict all this without any of the equipment. He just theoretically figured out that this is what would happen, you know?
To have a mind like that.
Right?
So I was watching a video last night about, you know, that Philip Ranieri guy who has the quote self-help group Nexium, which turned out to be a
Yes.
sex cult.
The sex cult,
So
yes.
he was out there and he has been out there telling people that he's got an IQ of 240.
Oh, yeah.
Sure you do. Yeah, we believe that. People who have IQs that high, you know, see them, you know, it's Einstein, it's Newton, it's, you know, there's these mathematicians from all over the world that this rarefied air that they breathe.
Yes.
That, you know, that's what they're concerned with.
But it's interesting because I kind of believe that with IQ there's a law of diminishing returns, right? So that once you get past a certain level of IQ, that you can slap any number you want on it, but your actual intellect, your ability to do things, isn't that much significantly greater than the people that are just a little, you know, just a ways behind you. And so I'm not so impressed by that number. I'm really not.
Well,
even if it were true.
Yeah. Okay. But the people who really do have, I mean, you know, there are people who've graduated from a university, you know, at 13 years old.
Yes.
They have IQs of, you know, whatever.
Yes.
You know, so the highest IQs ever recorded are Christopher Michael Langen. His IQ score was between 190 and 210. Edith Stern, she had over 200. Kim Ung-yong was 210. Christopher Harada, 225. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Marilyn Vos Savant, 228. Terrence Tao, 225 to 230. And William James Sidis, or CDs, 250 to 300, which is just unfathomable. Yeah. Unfathomable. Philip Ranieri is not on this list. He's a crazy, narcissistic cult leader who branded people, allegedly.
Yes.
So I don't know how we got on that topic.
I don't know.
It's all on me. Speaking of geniuses, Mark Zuckerberg may find himself bounced.
Yeah, okay. So this is one of those fascinating stories for me because I honestly think that what happened to Facebook kind of had to happen, right? I get that there's a lot of financial pain for the people who lost their money on the market, but the reality is that they had to get rid of all those Russian bots. They had to change their operating model because they were essentially being used in an evil fashion, right?
Evil.
Yeah, and so I think he did the right thing, and for me that means that if he gets bounced over doing what I think is the right thing, even though it cost them money, that's going to upset me a little bit.
Well, give it 5 minutes. They'll be back. The reality is that it's still the most powerful social media network in the world. It still has, you know, over 1 billion users. People, you know, the advertising revenue has dropped. Okay, yeah, because the Russians and others are, you know, they're cleaning that up, but it'll come back. I mean, the audience is still there. Now, the question is, you know, the younger audience is not there. So, you know, but, you know, switch over to Instagram. The younger audience is on Instagram, and Instagram is owned by Facebook.
Yes. Well,
So-
and something happens to the younger people. I know this because I have a birthday on Monday. They do get older eventually.
They do, but you know, everybody has that sweet spot of wanting the 20-year-olds to be on their, you know, the 18 to 35 or whatever.
Yes.
You know, and Facebook is an older platform. I mean, think about it, we're on Facebook. Our kids generally aren't.
No, I know, and it bugs the heck out of me because I keep posting stuff for them and they never respond. I'm like, seriously? Not even one like?
Come on.
Not even one like? Come on, son, daughter. Seriously. Son-in-law, daughter-in-law, why aren't you liking my stuff?
Because they've got better things to do.
Actually, you know, this is props to my daughter-in-law, Alyssa. She actually likes my stuff more than any of the rest of them. I love that she's sucking up to me like that. The rest of you, forget you. Forget you.
You're out of the will.
You're out of the will. It is funny though, the young kids, you know, they're not. You're right, they're not on there.
They're not, but they're on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. I just think everybody needs to take a deep breath. Yeah, there's a big deal being made about the fact they had the biggest drop in history, and yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But they still are massive.
Yeah.
So Mark Zuckerberg, everybody's, you know, boo-hooing that he dropped from like the second richest guy in the world to the sixth.
Yeah.
He still has billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Well, and the reality is, and I hate to say this, because it's going to offend the people that are really in the market, but it's fake.
It is fake.
It's fake. It's not real money, right? It's prospective money that's in a stock that you could cash in if you wanted to. But does anyone need $16.8 billion today? You know, I mean, so it can just sit there. I mean, it's not like he needs it right this minute, because as you said, he's got billions and billions more in the stock market. It's prospective money. It's not real money. And the market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're living and dying by whether the market goes up or the market goes down, then you're just a
just a gambler.
You're a gambler, a gambling addict, and you're in a bad place. Get out. Right?
Go to a meeting.
Go to a meeting, yeah.
And so with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we'll be right back.
Why are you listening to this radio station? Why? When you can host your own radio show. You're listening and you think you can do better? You have a message or a product you want everyone to know about. Host your own radio show. Team up with the area's best radio professionals and let them make you sound like you should be on NBC. KCAA NBC Radio, that is. KCAA produces more than 50 local programs each week on subjects ranging from business and sports to political talk, vegan diets, or even marijuana-related issues. We don't just broadcast on the radio, we broadcast to the world. Online, on TV, on social media, on Facebook. You'll be all over. Imagine what your friends will say. And KCAA reaches over 5 million people on 3 radio stations. Join the staff on 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM. NBC Radio. Jump on the KCAA Express. Call 909-793-1065. That's 909-793-1065 and get ready to transmit.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070. Success Partner presents the all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, located on the corner of County Line Road and California Street in the city of Yucaipa. This all-new neighborhood farmers market is open from 8 a.m. to noon on most Saturdays and carries some of the freshest produce in the Inland Empire. The Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market now open on most Saturdays at 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. More information at 909-222-9293. That number again is 909-222-9293, or email successpartner@live.com. The all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays in Yucaipa. Presented by Success Partner.
Hi, my name is Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Most people would love to be in the stock market, but they're scared not being in. They're scared about not getting out in time. Well, that is over, because now you can join Phil's Gang and my stock video program and follow me with specific stock on the video, and you will be out in time.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Drivers, when it's time to visit the DMV, avoid the long lines and save time by calling toll-free 833-DMV-LINE. That's 833-DMV-5463.
Get all the facts, all you need to know on KCAA Radio.
I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. I want to remind everyone all the ways they can listen to both the show live and on podcast. You can find us on the FM dial at 102.3 in Riverside County and at 106.5 through Yucaipa, the San Gorgonio Pass, Redlands, and surrounding communities. And all throughout the Inland Empire at 10:50 a.m. You can listen online at KCAAradio.com or using the TuneIn app. On the TuneIn app, we're listed as The Morning Show. And you can find our podcast at KCAAradio.com and at iHeart.com. Search for On the Brink on KCAA.
Yes.
That's how you find us. And you can find us on social media. I am Erin Hunt Brinker on Facebook. Tobin is Tobin Brinker on Facebook. And that's the best way to find and follow us. We are the KCAA Morning Show on Facebook as well, because we are On the Brink, the KCAA Morning Show.
It's true.
So what happened is that the format changed, and we didn't want to, get rid of all of our social media.
Yes.
And, anyway, so that's, and people were used to seeing us in a particular way, are continuing to do so.
Yes.
All right. So California never misses an opportunity to be fascistic.
What's that mean?
Are you joking? Being a fascist?
Are you going to make me say the word college again? I thought our listeners may require a definition.
Do you think our listeners are dumb?
No, I do not.
All right. So, no, because now they're going to tell companies that they cannot provide free food for their employees.
Oh. So that's what fascism is. No food.
No. Oh, my God. So Tobin is in rare form this morning.
I'm just giving Erin a hard time because I'm tired. I didn't get home till late last night.
Yeah,
yes,
and
okay.
you did a triathlon workout minus the bike. So,
yes.
So what I'm trying to say is
California
fascism is when the government tells you how to live your life. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it. In California, so in several cities in California, well, it's starting in Mountain View, there will no longer be free ice cream for the 2,000 employees set to fill Facebook's new office in Mountain View. Like many other tech companies in the Silicon Valley, Facebook fills the bellies of its employees with free food, from oven-baked pizza to hand-rolled sushi. But that appears to be changing. In an effort to lend support to local restaurants, the city of Mountain View has blocked Facebook from subsidizing cafeteria meals by more than 50%. Though it can fully subsidize meals, it had it outside restaurants. We wanted to make sure businesses that were there were successful, according to Councilman John McAllister. He tells the San Francisco Chronicle. The goal was to make sure we didn't have 40,000 square feet of office space with people that never left the building. Oh, hogwash. And that's none of your business anyway. Yeah. It's really not. I mean, unless they're chained to their desks. As far as I know, people in Silicon Valley make pretty darn good money to sit there and code all day.
And here's the thing. If the food is being prepared for them on site and served to them on site, free, those jobs will go away. So those folks who live in that community are losing their jobs, with their good, well-paying jobs at that place where they were making food in the cafeteria,
right?
So that you can now allow the money to go to restaurants that are outside. You're also going to increase congestion on the streets.
Yes.
I mean, this is just the dumbest
idea ever. And you're also going to decrease productivity. So you'll end up, because you have to travel to and from those places, and it's not convenient, right? So if you're in long meetings, you work long hours. Silicon Valley they work long hours. It's just the nature of the business, and they're paid well to do it. If you have to continue a meeting and run downstairs and grab some food or have that food brought up to you, it really lends itself to creating a more productive environment.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's none of their business anyway.
Right.
It's if you know, are you going to get rid of free donuts in the break room too?
Right.
No. Everybody has to go to the donut shop and eat it there.
Yes.
It's the dumbest idea ever.
It really is. They don't think. The people who make these kinds of rules don't think. They really don't.
And I understand that there are restaurants that may be struggling because, all of these tech companies, and at least the big ones have on-site cafeterias that the food is free. I understand. But, businesses start and fail all the time, especially restaurants.
Yes, they do.
And perhaps they should have put it somewhere else. It breaks my heart. It's terrible when a business fails, but it's not the government's job to prop that business up.
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to get those customers, reach out to the company and say, hey, I understand you like having stuff on site. Can we build a little restaurant in your building?
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's the key is that like Esri has people can come in and use their you can go to their restaurant at Esri. It's for employees, but you can also use it. That's here locally. But again, it's none of the government's business. The whole idea of it goes against every bone in my body.
Yes.
And there's another genius bit of legislation that came out of Santa Barbara.
Yes.
Well, apparently you can be jailed as a business owner, restaurant owner, if you give straws to people before they ask for them. Now, in California, it's okay to transmit HIV to someone knowingly. It's no longer a felony. But you get jail time if you give somebody a straw.
Yeah, there's several memes that are sort of pointing out the lunacy of the left and these kinds of laws, right? We're a sanctuary state. We're not going to do anything about people that we know are here illegally, right? But we're going to send people to jail for giving out straws. As you pointed out, the law about transmitting HIV, right? It's no longer illegal to not tell people that you have HIV. You can transmit that and get somebody sick, and no consequence will happen to you. But if you give out a straw, you'll go to jail. And so these are the kinds of things that I think are driving sort of normal, sane people
elsewhere,
a little crazy,
yes.
and driving them elsewhere. They're like, I got to get out of here.
So think about that. And then one of the memes was, so if an undocumented alien immigrant gives out a straw in a sanctuary city, then what? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, okay.
We arrest them, but we don't turn them over to ICE. We don't, Aaron.
It's just crazy.
I know.
It's just crazy. So, and of course the complete ban on straws is coming.
Yeah.
Because straws are the evil of the world. Now in San Francisco, there's human waste all over the streets, but let's not have any straws.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. I understand the ban was in Santa Barbara, but it's coming to San Francisco. You watch.
Yeah. And it's primarily the coastal towns that are focused on it because there's been a lot of people that are aquatic animal lovers who have posted videos and things showing that these straws they get in the water and these aquatic animals swallow them or whatever, and it causes them to be sick and die. And so this is the fear, right? But it's actually a fairly small percentage that's making their way into the ocean. So this is kind of, I feel like it's a major overreaction, as we often do, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna have a knee-jerk Olympics, to go along with the outrage Olympics, because everything is so freaking reactionary anymore.
Yes.
Give me a break. So with that, let's go ahead and take another break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And she said, give me a break. And then we're going to take a break. I love it. Yes, Tobin Brinker, out.
We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carter. Former Trump attorney Michael Cohen claims that then-candidate Donald Trump knew in advance of a meeting with Russians offering dirt on Hillary Clinton. Multiple sources report that Cohen is willing to tell special counsel Robert Mueller that he was present when Donald Trump Jr. told his father about the June 2016 meeting at Trump Tower.
If true, Cohen's claim would contradict repeated denials by President Trump and his associates that he knew nothing about the meeting until being asked about it a year later.
Mark Mayfield. A deadly wildfire that blew up last night is moving on the Northern California city of Redding. The 29,000-acre Carr fire killed a bulldozer operator who was working to create a fire break. And comedian Roseanne Barr says the tweet that ended Roseanne was meant to be political, not racist. Barr saying on Fox News' Hannity last night that her tweet was meant to be an appeal for accountability in the Obama administration for the Iran nuclear deal. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. We still have those blockages and closures in Banning, Beaumont, Hemet, and Mountain Center, all related to the fire in Idlewild. These are on the 243 southbound between Wesley Street and Highway 74. And that's in Banning. In Beaumont on the 60 eastbound before Jack Rabbit Trail, a possible alternate there. Either the 10 East or Redlands Boulevard to San Mateo Canyon East. There's a crash there that involves a big rig on its side and is a fatal incident. The coroner has been requested. In Hemet on the 74, it's a large brush fire in Idlewild on the 74 eastbound between Blackburn Road and the 243. And Mountain Center, of course, that's closed as well. In Ontario on the 10 westbound at the 15, a crash is blocking the 10 west transition to the 15 south. This has been your traffic on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Alvin Washington. Excessive heat warning for Greater San Bernardino continues through this evening. Sunny today and 105 the high, partly cloudy, warm tonight, low 72. Sunny on Saturday, high of 102. I'm Alvin Washington broadcasting from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California, KCAA, 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the mall with a heart.
Optimize your digestive health with the broad spectrum of vegetarian enzymes in Quantum Nutrition Lab's Quantum Digest and Quantum Zymes. Buy two, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email CEO@kcaaradio.com. KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. So did you see the video of that brawl between a McDonald's manager and a customer that came out yesterday? It was like totally went viral.
I didn't just see it. I binged watched it because it is so crazy. You have to watch it like a dozen times.
Yeah, so I watched it too, and it misses the first few seconds of what happened. Apparently, this woman in it's a Chicago area. Is it Chicago? Is where it happened? This a woman. No, it was Las Vegas. A woman went in and asked for a cup of water. She ordered a McDonald's meal. She asked for a cup to get the free water, and she tried to fill it up with soda. And the the store manager or whatever manager was on duty at the time got really upset, shut off the power, shut off the soda machine, and words were exchanged, but that wasn't on the video. And so the manager, who's a mountain, starts coming out to get the woman, to get at the woman who was trying to get the free.
Well, apparently the woman had already thrown some food at her or thrown food in her direction.
A French fry.
Yeah.
She threw a French fry.
Yes.
And so the woman came out and hit her. She threw then a shake, and then she hit her with the tray. The customer hit the manager with the tray, and the manager just started pounding on the customer, literally pounding
The
her
size-
face, her head, and go ahead.
The size of these two women is what struck me, right? So the customer who starts this thing, who throws the shake and throws the fry and hits her with the tray, is tiny. Right?
Yeah.
And as you said, the manager who comes out, the McDonald's manager, is a massive woman.
Yes.
And it reminded me of when you used to watch the old WWE wrestling, when you'd have these people that were very different sizes, and she literally is just throwing this girl around like a rag doll.
Yeah, by the hair.
Yeah. Right?
And
the girl the customer is not dressed appropriately for a fight. Right?
Yeah, she's wearing a tube top and little booty shorts.
Yeah. And her tube top comes tearing off, right? And
yeah.
so I mean, she's just being, now she's flying around half naked, and oh my God, I mean, this thing is just, how can you not look? You can't look away.
And the manager, she's probably 6 feet tall.
Yes.
And it's hard to tell from a video, but she's significantly like a foot taller than the person she's fighting, and she probably weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah,
250 probably 250.
Yeah.
And she's just wailing on her, pounding her, hitting her in the head, hitting her in the face, throwing her around like a rag doll. And it's bad.
The ending of this fight is kind of fascinating too, because another employee comes in and tries to get between the two women to try to stop it and calm it down, and then this customer starts fighting the second employee, right? And so then now the second employee and the manager, the two of them sort of are now both of them pounding on this girl, right? And then finally, just sort of all of a sudden, they release their grasp, and the customer, the smaller woman, picks up a stool, right? And
it was a chair.
A chair. And she's like, I'm going to hit you with this. And then she thinks better of it. She's like, I've just had my butt whooped by these two women. Maybe I should just end this now. And she puts it down or hands it to the other woman, and they kind of like just go back to business. It's just like this weird thing.
So the thing that strikes me, first of all, this manager should be in jail.
You think?
Oh, absolutely. 100% she should be in jail. Because, so what? She got a French fry thrown at her. Who cares if it was a whole thing of French fries thrown at her? The rational response, if somebody is being violent in your store, is to call the cops.
Yeah.
It's not to come out and beat the holy crap out of somebody.
Yeah, let the cops beat the holy crap out of her.
Exactly. That's what they're paid to do.
Yeah, so we get that on video, and that goes viral.
And if I got to be honest, if a woman that size were coming at me with fists clenched, I'd throw whatever I could find at her too. I'd be scared.
Right.
This woman is, I mean, seriously, the customer is probably half the size of the other woman.
Yeah.
And this is not a fat joke. I'm overweight. I get it. But it's about just pure strength and size. So that manager needs to be in jail. And if I were the woman who was assaulted, and I understand that she fought back, but if I were the woman who was assaulted, I would sue McDonald's.
Yeah. No, she's probably going to sue McDonald's. You're right. This woman's probably going to lose her job. And she may go to jail.
She needs to go to jail.
She may go to jail too.
That
It'd be fascinating.
It was because there were many times during that confrontation where she could have pulled back.
Yeah.
First of all, she could have not left. She came from out from behind the counter.
Yeah.
She did not have to do that. She could have asked the woman to leave, and she could have then called the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are totally siding with the manager on social media. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think that we live in a society where we've been told the customer's always right, the customer's always right. And there are some, I hate to say this, punks out there who really, sort of push the limits of decorum beyond what is acceptable. And I think people are rooting for this manager. They feel like this employee really overstepped, and sometimes someone needs to beat somebody down to teach them that lesson that, hey, you can't go around behaving that way.
It was pennies worth of soda.
Oh, I know.
Number one.
I know.
The woman had bought food.
Mm-hmm.
She bought food.
Yes.
And so, all she had to do, it's only $1, first of all, for the soda. So, maybe she could have coughed up the buck. But all the manager had to say was, I'm sorry, you paid for water, you can have water, I'm going to shut the soda machine off. And if there was anything beyond that, they could have called the cops.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is not how you handle it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think back to when I used to work in food service, and we once had a homeless man. I worked at a Sizzler, and a homeless man came in, and he had like a little plastic container. He didn't pay for anything. He just walked up to the Sizzler salad bar and started filling it up, right? And one of the managers came out and said, hey, you can't do that, right? And this guy got verbally abusive and continued to fill his thing. And the manager just very calmly said, hey, look, if you're hungry, come around to the back door. I'll get you some food, right? But you can't come in. Health codes, or I have laws and rules that I have to follow. You can't just walk in here with your container and start stealing food from my salad bar. So I'll help you out. I'll get you some food if you're hungry, but don't do it this way. And the guy kind of calmed down as my manager calmed, and the manager kept a calm voice, handled it beautifully.
Sounds like it.
And the guy finally said, okay, and he just kept what he had in the little tray from the salad bar, put that in his little bag, and then walked out. And the manager said, I'll meet you at the back door. And he did. He went around the back and gave the guy, a burger or something, gave him some stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly would have, I understand that they could not let the woman take the soda, because it sets a bad precedent.
Yeah.
But there are 1,000 other ways that this could have been handled.
Yeah.
That it would have been better.
Yeah.
Than what happened. This McDonald's manager needs to go to jail.
Well, and now watch. McDonald's will have a massive training program. They'll shut down all McDonald's around the country for a single day to train them on how to de-escalate situations like this.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? I mean, I say that because that's what Starbucks did, right? They had a single incident
yes.
with a customer that went badly. And by the way, in that one, in the Starbucks incident, guess what they did? They called the cops.
They did. They called the cops.
They called the cops.
Well, and by the way, people, because our daughter works at Starbucks, the people who went through that training, they said it was useful.
Yeah.
They said it was good.
Yeah.
So it wasn't throwaway money. I mean, if you think about it, like Starbucks closed every single one of their stores nationwide. They lost a lot of revenue during the afternoon that they did this. But the people who went through it feel like it was money well spent.
Yeah.
So I suppose that remains to be seen. So obviously McDonald's has said that they don't condone this behavior and they're investigating.
Yeah.
That's the statement from McDonald's. But there's lawsuit. The lawsuit is coming. Speaking of people behaving badly, Brock Turner, remember rapist Brock Turner?
Do I remember rapist Brock Turner?
So for those of you who don't remember, he is that Stanford University, former Stanford University swimmer. We talked about him a couple of days ago.
Yep.
You want to know what his argument was, that the reason why he shouldn't be charged with rape?
What was his argument?
That he was interested in outer course instead of intercourse. Outer course. That's not a word, first of all.
Yes.
Second of all, it's still assault.
Yes.
It's still assault. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think the argument that he was making was that there was never actual penetration, therefore it's not rape. And they invented this crazy word, outer course, to sort of make that point. I don't know.
He did
ridiculous.
3 months in jail.
Yes.
3 months. Now, the issue is whether he has to be a registered sex offender for the rest of his life. I think he does.
Yeah.
And I know that remains to be seen, and I understand.
Well, hold on, though, because this happened in California, correct?
Yes.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but our wonderful Governor Jerry Brown is changing the whole way that we do sexual offender registration. And so a whole bunch of people that were designated as sexual offenders that would be there for life, Jerry Brown is changing it so that they don't have to be there for life. And I bet you, watch, that Brock Turner will be one of the ones that gets that special,
I honestly think that it was coitus interruptus. I do.
Yeah, no, he was going to go all the way.
He was going to go all the way.
Yeah.
People just walked by before he had a chance to do it.
Yeah.
I think this, and the response from his dad, you remember his father said at the time, one night of action shouldn't ruin my son's life. I will never forget that.
Well, that's the classic boys will be boys argument, right? The one night of action. I mean, that's literally what Dad was saying. Boys will be boys. Hey, he's just doing what guys do. Hey, don't worry about it. No. That girl is somebody's daughter. If somebody did that to my daughter, you'd have a hard time keeping me from doing something bad to that person.
Right.
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 Taking the law in my own hands.
Exactly.
Because boys will be boys. Right?
Just hope there's not a hatchet nearby.
Right.
All right. So with that, it's time for another break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We'll be right back.
Whether you swing a hickory shaft Massey Niblick or the latest titanium hybrid, golf is your game, and the Boy Scouts need you. To be specific, the California Inland Empire Council of the Boy Scouts of America need your help in joining them for their 10th annual Golf Classic at Los Sureños Golf Club in Chino Hills on Friday, August 10th. A continental breakfast and a lunch are included, and we tee off at 7:45 a.m. Proceeds will help to offer young people responsible fun and adventure.
It's time to shop in the cool, relaxed comfort of the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands, conveniently located on the I-10 freeway between the Alabama and Tennessee exits. Bring the kids too and watch them play in the only indoor fun center, High Five Indoor Playground, where parents are welcomed on the playground. Birthday celebrations are encouraged, so make plans for some great fun at the mall. More reasons why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
This segment of broadcasting brought to you by Tender Hearts TLC Incorporated. Tender Hearts, the helping hands for your loved ones, where they understand it can be difficult to find time in your already busy schedule to attend to all the needs of your aging loved one. Tender Hearts will be there for your loved one when you can't be. Tender Hearts TLC helps your aging loved ones stay in their home as they specialize in tender, loving, 24-hour service, including transportation to doctor's appointments, medication reminders, meal preparation, light housekeeping, and assistance with activities of daily living such as hygiene and grooming, orientation, and companionship. We thank Tender Hearts for their support of this station. Tender Hearts TLC, where they don't just care for your loved one, they give them tender, loving care. For more info, you can reach them at 909-528-9759. That's 909-528-9759 for Tender Hearts TLC. This segment is sponsored by Tammy Sutherland of Coldwell Banker Kivett Teeters Realty, where she makes it her business to put happy people in happy homes. It's Tammy Sutherland's passion to list your house and put you in just the right house that you could call home.
She made so much extra effort to sell our house and make sure that we understood every step of the way. Tammy always had our best interests at heart.
I didn't think we'd ever find a house we loved, but with Tammy's help, we did. Now I get to mow the lawn every weekend. But then again, that's why we had kids. Hey, Tyler!
Tammy did way more than we ever expected in a real estate agent. Without Tammy, we would still be renting.
So if you want your perfect house, contact Tammy Sutherland at Coldwell Banker Kivett Teeters Realty in Yucaipa, across from Yucaipa High School. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, it's homesbytammy.net or on Facebook at facebook.com/Realtor Tammy Sutherland at 909-556-2094 for Realtor Tammy Sutherland, and we thank her for her support.
So, you didn't like that opinion, okay? Give us another 15 minutes. This is the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA. There's a hilarious story out of Egypt. And we usually don't cover Egyptian news, but there was a zoo that apparently needed another donkey.
No.
So needed another zebra. So they spray painted a donkey.
Yeah, okay. This has got to be a joke, right? Like, there's just some guys who work at the zoo, and they were drinking, and one of them said, hey, you know what'd be funny? And look, and they got out and they painted painted a donkey to look like a zebra. Who thinks they can pass a zebra off as a donkey? I mean,
a donkey off as a zebra. See, now you're doing it. Oh my God,
it's crazy. It's crazy, but apparently that's what they did.
Well, and the pictures are hilarious because the spray paint kind of smeared.
Yes. And don't you think the guests are a little suspicious every day as you're like touching him up over in the corner? You know, the guy over there was a little paint by numbers.
And when it starts braying,
right?
Because donkeys bray, zebras don't.
And they don't look the same. They really don't. I mean, there's real differences between zebras and donkeys, not just the stripes. It's funny.
Well, and
but the pictures are what sells it.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious, because it's clearly a donkey. The ears are different. Donkeys have big ears. Zebras have smaller ears.
yes.
And, donkeys, zebras are wild animals. Donkeys are actually very affectionate.
Yes. PETA has gotten involved, Aaron. People for the ethical treatment of animals, they believe these animals are being abused. They said no reputable animal care facility would subject a skittish animal like a donkey to the stress of being restrained and sprayed with chemicals like paint, which could cause a painful allergic reaction. And PETA hopes that Cairo authorities are fully investigating this matter. This is from PETA Foundation Vice President Delciana Winders.
Yeah, whatever. Delciana Winders, get a life. I mean, it's probably not good for the animal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious. And there's another story. This is on KTLA 5. I can't talk this morning. In 2013, apparently a zoo in China tried to pass off a hairy dog as a lion.
Okay, again, hilarious. Hilarious. And it's a joke. Somebody was at the zoo and they were smoking something or they were drinking something and they're like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny? I got this dog." I love it. I mean, have a sense of humor, people. This is obviously done for comedic effect.
Well, I will say that the zoo in Egypt keeps basically saying, "Nuh-uh."
They're still trying to pass it off.
They are smeared spray paint and all.
Oh
my
goodness.
gosh. Speaking of other things that are well, I can't say hilarious, that are just depressing. Venezuela could eventually have 1 million% inflation.
Yes, and I saw an article where they said they were going to just redo their money, but take off a whole bunch of zeros or something as their
that'll
way,
make it okay.
as their way of fixing it. But the reason they're having the inflation is because there is essentially no trust in their currency, right?
Right.
And so the only way, if you look historically, the only way that you solve a crisis like this is that you need an influx of capital. You have to switch over the entire monetary system. So you have to get rid of those old bills, transfer them to new bills that are backed by something solid that people can say, here's what it is. So, for instance, Mexico was going through massive inflation in the 90s. What happened? We, the United States, loaned them $40 billion to stabilize their economy and their monetary system. They created a new peso. People traded in the old pesos for the new pesos, which were backed by the American loans. Their economy got back on solid ground, and they paid back the $40 billion. I think they had 20 years to do it. I think they did it in 10. Right? They paid it back super quick because their economy was strengthened. That's how you fix inflation.
Well, if you're a central banker in Venezuela, though, you're just going to print more money.
Yeah.
And this particular article, it's in the Washington Post, talks about in the former Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milosevic, when he was ruling all of Yugoslavia, in his country there was the highest inflation ever recorded.
Yeah.
And it had gotten to the point where what stopped the inflation was they couldn't print money fast enough.
Yes.
They just ran out of the capacity to print money.
Yes.
And so that's when, well, and of course you know what happened. Everything collapsed and Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
Then in Zimbabwe, they had the hyper inflation, and they still have hyperinflation because their system completely collapsed. And Venezuela is headed for that.
So what happens is that people basically go to a black market system of bartering for things.
They have to dollarize.
Yeah. And in the last 6.5 years, Venezuela's currency has lost, get this number here, 99.9997% of its value. If that's not 100%, I don't know what is. It's so dang close, right?
Yeah.
And just to put that in perspective, that $1 from 2012, one Venezuelan dollar from 2012, would be you would need
$333,000.
Yeah, thank you. $333,333.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, to equal that $1.
So imagine you have a house that's worth $333,000. $333,333. Now your house is worth $1.
$1.
Oh no! Well, and
Yes.
and that's not quite it's not quite the same analogy, but I wanted to make it something that
Yes.
you understand.
Crazy though. I mean, it's just crazy. You can't buy anything.
Crazy. Think about the buying power of $333,000.
Yeah.
And today, and imagine that that $333 is suddenly worth $1.
I wish there was more good reporting on what's happening in Venezuela, right? And I say that because there's sort of this romantic idea of socialism that's taken hold with our young people. And, you know, every generation, it seems like they have to have their object lesson that this system doesn't work.
But it's what, you know, every single time it's tried, it doesn't work. But of course, they use the no true Scotsman approach, you know, logical fallacy, and saying, well, they didn't do true socialism.
Yeah.
Really? So China, Russia, Cuba, Venezuela, all these different places where they have tried socialism, all, you know, African country, it always ends up violent. It always ends up fascistic. It always ends up with bread lines. It's bad.
And the only way they start to right themselves is when they go back to adding capitalist elements into their economy.
Which is what's happened in China.
Yeah. And you know, Venezuela used to have such a strong economy. They had big multinational corporations there. People had good jobs. You know, it was doing so well. And then the government came in, Hugo Chavez came in, and they started nationalizing all those industries, right? They basically conquered and took over all of those oil industry companies, because that was the big one first, right? And then they started taking over other stuff. And as the government took over those industries, they collapsed. They collapsed because you put people in that didn't know how to run them, that they didn't have the profit motive, people were going to get paid whether they came to work or not, and just rampant corruption, and it just collapsed.
So I remember having heated discussions with wealthy leftists here in California when Chavez took over, and you know, they were just certain that you and I were, you know, we just hated the poor, and that's why we didn't like Hugo Chavez. No, what's happening in Venezuela, and I understand that Hugo Chavez is dead, and now you have Maduro, but these are Chavez's policies, and I'm sorry. It's anybody who has studied this thing knew what was going to happen in Venezuela, and it has.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. So with that, we are at the end of our show for this week. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Stay cool. We're supposed to have slightly cooler weather, you know, right around 100 instead of 112, right? So I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will see you on Monday.